In case you need a reminder that Ari Wasserman is the shortest Ohio State beat writer on the cleveland.com team, you can look at the bags and not see any of my head. I'm here with Bill and Doug. We're breaking down Ohio State positions, 3 players to watch heading into Ohio State spring game on Saturday. Today is receivers. Bill, who do you got?
I'm going to hedge it a little bit and say Ben Victor, with the caveat that he might not play on Saturday. I asked Zach Smith, the receivers coach, will Ben Victor play on Saturday? He's been a little dinged up. We don't quite know what the injury is, but we saw him in an orange jersey at the student practice last Saturday, and Zach Smith said, I think so. I'm not sure. That to me sounds like he might not play. If he doesn't play, then the other young receiver I'm looking at is Austin Mack, who we were told last year is really advanced for a guy who came in as an early enrolled freshman. And in my head, I was like, oh, Austin Mack's going to play a lot. And then he didn't. He didn't really play at all in the receiver rotation. He started on special teams and wasn't a factor at all in the top rotation of receivers. So Victor, if he plays, and Mack for sure should be out there on Saturday.
We got to talk to the wide receivers on Monday, and that's obviously the biggest group for improvement, and we talked to some of the players that were on the field last year, and as Doug pointed out earlier, the explanation was they're just going to be better. What do you think? Who's your guy?
I think Paris Campbell is now, in my estimation, the most important guy on this offense, not named JT Barrett. He's moved to H-back. He called it the premier position on this offense. He's a guy who seemingly has done everything right in his career, but has not really been a playmaker, and now he's in the playmaker spot. So if he's the number 1 H-back, he's got to make plays. We're not going to spend all year comparing him to Curtis Samuel because that's not fair to anybody. But I really like Paris Campbell. He's a stand-up guy. You can tell he's a leader. The guys would follow him. But he has to make big plays if he's going to play that spot, running it and catching it. And so look for that. I mean, we got to see it on Saturday as the first sign because he hasn't really done that. And we saw last year what H-back can mean to this team.
The other 2 guys who are repping with the ones are KJ Hill and Terry McLaurin. Neither of those guys are my guys. Another guy who is repping with the ones is Johnny Dixon. That is my guy. He spent his entire career on and off the injured list with his arthritic knees. There was some question when I talked to him after the Fiesta Bowl in the locker room in Arizona that he might not be on the team this year. And now all of a sudden at Student Appreciation Day when we got to see the scrimmage, he was repping with the ones, looked active, and everybody's saying he's healthier than he's ever been. 2 things. 1, he might look awesome in the spring game. That's something to look for. Might give you hope that he might get something going finally in his senior year. But also remember that Dixon's knees have been hard on his body, and he hasn't necessarily been able to fight through it. So even though he might flash in the spring game, he might not be in the middle of the mix in the season. But I am interested to see how he looks. Bill, Doug, Ari, thanks for watching. We'll have these videos all week.